Hi, everyone. It's Elda. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to get on live again and do a Facebook Live tonight and interview one of the amazing leaders at the new company that I'm with named Corbin Roush. So he's going to be getting on live with me and I'm going to interview him. He has an amazing story to tell and I'm just really excited to share his story and share this business opportunity with my friends and family. Hey, David. Hey, Nancy. Hi, Lisa. Okay, there he is. Hey, Jason. Thanks for coming on, guys. Let me see. Let me find Corbin. Where are you, Corbin? Let me see. Corbin Burnson is coming up. I want Corbin Roush. Let me see. There you are. Invite. Okay. Okay, Corbin, are you there? Let's see. Bring them on camera. Thanks for being so patient with me, everybody. Hey, David. Hey, Andrew. Hi, Kelly. Haven't seen some of you guys in a while. Hey, Belinda, Stephanie, Tanya. Hey, Corbin.
Hey there.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. I made it.
I know your son had a basketball game, right?
He did. I had to go. First of all, I do what I do because I want to be at all my kids' stuff and be able to celebrate all their games and victories and successes. But because of this conference, I've decided we're going to try to go Crown this year, and I'm going to be gone for the next couple weeks, as you know. So I'm missing the next couple weeks of games. So yeah, I put off this call. So thanks for being patient with me while we put this off. I know we were supposed to do it earlier. But,
no, absolutely. No, I would never want you to miss your son's game. That's why we do this business, right? Just like you said. So,
and I'm having a little shake and share.
Okay, I wanted to say hi to some of my friends, if you don't mind. Hey, Anna.
Oh, please do.
Hi, Margaret. I'm so grateful to you guys for joining me. Yvette, oh my God, I haven't seen Yvette. Stephanie, Belinda, Edna, Margaret, Martha, Kelly. Anyway, I'm just so grateful to you guys for joining me. So I'm going to stop talking and actually introduce this amazing man that I have the honor of having him join us on this live today. And I want him to share his story. I'm just so excited about this new venture for me, this new company. Can you hear me, Corbin?
Yeah, my phone went kaputs on me, so hold on a second. There you are.
Okay, I can see. Yeah, it's a little frozen right now. You're frozen.
Let me hit that button there. I don't know what happened. I might have to bring in my expert here.
Holly?
Let's, yeah, it's frozen. Let's see. Why don't we exit me out and then have me come right back on.
You back in? Okay, sounds good. Okay, in the meantime, we'll just wait for everybody. Hey, guys, thanks so much for your patience. I know you're all busy people, and you're probably thinking, what in the world is Elda doing? But, you know, some of you I haven't seen in a while. Some of you I haven't gotten a chance to work out with in a while or see, you know, just out and about. But I'm just really grateful that you're taking the time out of your evening to share with me so that you can learn about what I'm doing. I'm really excited about this new business venture. I can't tell you enough, you know, about it. I'm just beyond the moon excited. And so I wanted to, okay, there's Corbin. Let's bring him on camera. I'm adding him again. So really, I feel like since I'm so new in this industry and in this business, I mean, literally, I started 6 weeks ago because of my dear friend, Nancy Ohanian, who I love and respect tremendously. And so I feel it's always better to share, you know, share information with somebody who's an expert in the industry who has had massive success. So there you are, Corbin. Okay, so basically, again, let's do round two. So Corbin.
There we go.
Okay, I can hear you just fine, and you look fabulous. So let's just go ahead and get started. So what I want you to do, Corbin, if you will, for me, please, is I'm going to start off with a sentence, and I just want you to go, because I've heard many, I've watched you give many of these interviews, and to me, this is what really resonated. I'm going to say, like I said, one sentence, and I want you to just take off and just share your experience, how you got into this industry, and all of that. And the sentence is, over my dead body. So I want you to share with my network why you said that, what that means, and why you're here today.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this for you. It was a pleasure getting to meet you in Orlando. I loved your excitement. I loved your smile. I loved your passion. I loved that you stalked me the whole week in Holly to get us to commit to come to San Antonio to do a meeting for your amazing team and all the people in VASAYO that are going to be in San Antonio. So we want to make sure everybody rolls out on Wednesday. It's on the event calendar. So if you know people in the San Antonio area, I mean, San Antonio is one of the top 10 populated cities in the United States. So if you can get people there, show up, get them there. We'll do the work for you. But over my dead body, that's exactly what I said when Holly approached me. And was actually my brother-in-law, who happened to be at the time one of the top PGA golfers in the world. He came over to our house one night and was excited about this opportunity, about a company he'd heard about from a friend in Florida. And first of all, why would a friend in Florida be calling and talking to one of the top golfers in the world about network marketing? Well, because everybody is looking. Everybody is open, is what I have found out over the last 12 years. Except for me. I was not open. So as he came over to our house one night, he was probably the only person that he could ever even get me to think about taking a look at this. And he said, we were around the kitchen table just chatting it up like people do when you're having a dinner. And he brought up, oh my gosh, I've heard about this new company, and started sharing it. Oprah's talking about it. It's going to be the next big thing. And I got up and left the room. I was busy. I was in corporate America working. I was usually gone every morning before my kids were out of bed. I came home late in the evenings around bedtime, tuck-in time. There were 3 small boys at the time. They were, what were they, Holly? 3, 6, 9, something like that, 3, 6, or 10. They were just little guys, and I never was there. So the thought of taking on another opportunity, another business venture, just was not in my time schedule. And so the conversations continued. I heard them in there talking. They were getting all excited. They were talking about they were going to fly around in private jets, and they were going to have homes, beach houses, and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's one of those, isn't it? And all of a sudden, Holly says, I'm all in. I'm all in. I want the rights to Oklahoma. Bo, Carrie, you're PGA golfers. You already make tons of money on the tour. Let us have our opportunity. And Bo goes, oh no, it's one of those. It's not that. It's one of those. And I said, time out. I know what one of those are. I came running back into the room. I think I was in the pantry, food pantry at the time. And I said, Holly, over my dead body are we doing network marketing. I don't want my friends running from me. I don't want to be known as that guy. I didn't want people to think I was broke and desperate, trying to look for that, that way to make extra money. I didn't want my friends to think they had to buy a garage full of junk from me, and I shut it down for 2 days. Holly kept going back to look at. Holly's big in health and wellness. She loves nutrition, and she just kept researching it and came to me a few days later and just said, hey, remember that company? And I said, yeah, what? She goes, I think I'm going to do it. And I said, first of all, I was like, no, please don't. She goes, no, hear me out. She goes, what if this is the next big thing and we said no to it? She goes, how sick are you going to be in a couple of years if one of our friends comes over to our house and says, oh my gosh, have you ever heard about the XYZ company I'm in? I've made $1 million. Would you like to join with me? She goes, how sick are you going to be that could have been us? And I said, wow, okay, good point. You go for it, girl. You go make it happen. Keep me out of it. I don't want my friends knowing you're doing it. Don't ask me to talk to my friends about it. Leave me out of it. And I said, as a matter of fact, we're busy. We're raising kids. I'm gone a lot. I travel a lot. Let's limit it to 1 night a week. It's got to replace your bunko night, your whatever, your gossip, whatever you girls do, but it's got to replace bunko. It can't be, oh, I'm doing bunko and I'm doing. So she got fired up and said, oh my gosh, I just got to get out of the house card free 1 night a week with my friends. We can go make some money. And she went out and just started building it. She immediately hopped on a trip down to Dallas. And Dallas is about 4 hours away from where we live in Tulsa. And she heard the #1 guy in the company at the time was there to do a presentation. The guy had made over $100 million in the industry. she was going to go learn from him. She walks into this room expecting hundreds of people in Dallas, Texas, and there's just a handful of people there. The room was set for over 115, 20 people were there, and she's like, oh my gosh, this thing's going to be huge. Nobody knows about it. We're in Dallas, Texas, and only 16 people here, and I brought 2 of them. We're going to be rich. And she sat on that front row that day, and she learned about a duplicating system. She learned about looking for people that were open, looking for people that wanted more out of life, looking for people that wanted a challenge. Not everybody's in this just to make extra money. Some people just want a challenge in life. My good friend Daniel Harold, he makes plenty of money in corporate America. He joined this business, and in 90 days has gone gold, and he's making $1,000 a week. It's like, how in the world did that happen? I mean, that's crazy. The guy didn't need it, but he wanted a challenge in life. He wanted something else. And so that's what Holly did. And she came back after that meeting from Dallas. It was a funny story. She sat on the front row, and the guy said, hey, I'm just looking for a couple people this year that want to be millionaires. And she shot out of her seat, like with all her excitement, and said, pick me, pick me, pick me. And that's a true story. And the guy kind of looked at her and said, this isn't a pick me contest. Why don't you just, this is people that want to work and get busy. And she did. She came back to Tulsa, and she just lit this thing up, and went in 6 months' time. And this is rare. I mean, my goal for everyone watching that's going to potentially get into this business is let's get all your bills paid for. Let's get all your product paid for, and have an extra $500 left over at the end of the month. That's my goal for everybody that joins this business. Now, what can happen is what happened for Holly. She'd never done this before. I limited her to 1 night a week. I said, hey, over my dead body. But she went out and in 6 months' time was annualizing $500,000 a year. That's crazy. That's unheard of. And she got fired up and excited, and it started getting me to take a look at it. Instead of saying, oh, no, I'm not going to do this, I started calling some of my buddies and saying, hey, you need to take a look at this. You need to get your wife to take a look at this. You need to get a part of this. But what really changed it for me was when I met Dallin Larson. I still, even at 6 months, I thought, well, she's either going to go to jail for building an illegal pyramid, and I'm going to be raising the kids, but at least we made some really good money, or there's something to this. And so she earned a diamond trip, and I hopped on a plane, and we flew to Costa Rica on a free trip, and I met Dallin Larson. And this is what really struck me as interesting. I was in corporate America working, and I worked for a guy that was a great entrepreneur here in Tulsa, had a vision for the company, but he had a vision for himself. Every time a new sales guy would come on board, he would ask me to train that new sales guy, spend time out of my territory as a commissioned salesman. I didn't make any commissions off the guy that he brought in. And I'd spend a couple of weeks training this guy, getting him up and running, getting him to, and I was a team player. I was proud to do it. I was excited that he asked me to do it. But what was interesting is I sat there with Dallin, and I heard a visionary. I heard about a man saying that a distributor can never make enough, that he could never pay a distributor enough money. And he started talking about trips around the world and seeing the world, and it all paid for, where my boss was always kind of a minimalist. How much more money could I make? But I want to try to put golden handcuffs on people. Just give them enough where they're happy, but not too much. And it was really a weird mind shift for me. And I started realizing, man, that's someone I could go to work for. That's someone that I could get passionate about. That's someone I could get excited about and want to put all my friends in front of. And so what I did is I came home as busy as I was. I made a list of all my friends that I thought could use this product, needed this product, could use the opportunity, wanted time freedom, wanted to take some of the stress off, just whatever reason. And I just put them on a piece of paper, and I started picking up the phone, and I started calling people. And I got a lot of no's. I got a lot of people giggling at me and laughing at me, but I got some yeses. And what I learned is run with the yeses, celebrate the victory, celebrate the people that want to build this. And over the next year and a half, I worked this hand in hand with Holly. We were blind and excited. We had no understanding of this industry. We were just on fire. Our hair was on fire. We're talking to everybody. We were building a team. And over that next year and a half, we went on to annualize over $1 million. I was able to walk away from that corporate America job. I started working this full time after right at about a year and a half, 2 years. And over the next 10 years, we went on to make $14 million, and we helped 186 people become millionaires. And what I love about that is not the fact that I went on to make $14 million. That was great. Believe me, I'm a saver, and I saved about every dime of that. But what was so cool is to think the system that we were taught and the system that we implemented helped create 186 millionaires. And when Dallin resigned from that company, we watched the company slowly deteriorate, and really our passion was gone. Our excitement was gone. It was like a captain. You're at sea, and there's really smooth waters, but the captain steps away and maybe there's a mutiny on board and they throw him overboard, and all of a sudden the rough waters come in and the rough seas start, and there's no one there to guide the ship. And that's kind of how I looked at the last company is, man, when he was gone, there was no visionary. There was no direction on where the company was going. And Holly and I, quite honestly, lost our passion, and we were ready to get out of the industry. I was, when we heard Dallin was launching this new company a little over a year ago, I was within days of signing a non-disclose agreement to buy a company outside of the industry. And we heard Dallin was coming out, and Holly and I immediately hopped on a plane. We flew out to Utah, and we wanted to hear why Dallin was doing this. The thought of going back into corporate America made me nauseous. It made me sick to my stomach. I didn't want any part of it, but I was too young to do nothing. Even though I'd saved all that money, I needed something in my life that would get me out of bed and keep me excited and give me a goal, just something to do. But when I heard Dallin talk about, not about finishing what we started or creating all these millionaires, or he talked about impacting 1 million lives, touching 1 million people, just like you heard from stage this weekend. And that got us excited, because if you're in it for the right reasons, serving people and helping people and touching people and changing people's lives, and talking about him missing his God-given talents to be able to inspire people and motivate people, it got Holly and I fired up again. We said, oh my gosh, we're going to do this again, aren't we? And Holly's over there shaking her head. Yes, 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 yes. And so he asked us to be the master brand partners, which just basically means we're on the tree. We're the very first ones that were put in. And we were tasked this first year to go out and help launch this company. Look for people that are looking. We're looking for people like you. San Antonio, Texas. Let's go blow this up next week. Let's put as many people in that room, and let's launch Texas. Texas is a market that will be one of the largest states for VASAYO, but right now it's barely registering. And the population in Texas is huge. San Antonio is huge. We're going to also be in Houston, Texas on Tuesday night of next week. Wednesday night we're in Houston, and then Thursday night we're in South Dallas at Cedar Hills, I believe. So, hey, we're coming there. We're going to share this story with all your friends, all your family, anyone that you can get there. Let us do the work for you. We're going to inspire, motivate. We're going to get people dreaming and go make it happen. So there was one sentence that you said, and I rambled for 15 minutes.
No, that's perfect. I mean, you covered all the topics that I really, that are really important to me, and that really moved me. I mean, I watched that and I listened to you, and I was like, why would a man, and this is, again, I hope I'm not, putting you on the spot, but it's important for me and my network, because I have a lot of people that are my family and friends that we have very successful careers. And so I was listening to you, and I'm like, why would a man who's making $500,000 a year in sales, like you were in your corporate America job, leave that to do network marketing? Just like you said, I mean, people are looking at me and thinking, what are you doing? And I'm just, I just want you to know that I see the vision. As I said, Nancy introduced me to it, and it took me a while to understand it, because I've never done it. I've never really met people who did very well in this company or in this industry. And so it's hard to respect something when you just don't know. If you're misinformed, if you're misinformed about something, you tend to, make these preconceived notions, preconceived judgments, or, have these stereotypes about an industry where you just don't know what is the real picture. And one thing that I like that Rick Gutman, one of my other mentors, other than you, says is that, just like in any organization in corporate America, in network marketing, you have good companies and bad companies. And I truly felt, I already kind of learned a lot about the company before I joined 6 weeks ago. But when I went to Orlando and I met you guys. I mean, I saw you in person. I looked at your eyes. I met Dallin. I met Carrie. I saw all the leaders of the company and the visionary, and what true visionaries they are. Again, like you and we got in. I mean, you got in and I got in as the biggest skeptic, the biggest, like, I will never do that kind of thing. And here I am, more excited than I've been in my lifetime, to be honest.
That's awesome.
Like, I'm serious. I'm going to start tearing up, but I mean, I'm really, like, you have no idea how excited I am, because
here's what I found out. The best tip I can give you and all your network that's watching and all the skeptics that are out there is have a dream and share that dream with as many people as possible. When I was in my corporate America job and I was working 70, 80 hours a week, and I'd reached my limit, quite honestly. I was gassed. I could not do any more. At 38 years old, I was about ready to just have a breakdown. It's like, my gosh, I could not imagine doing this anymore. And Dallin got me dreaming again. And he got me dreaming about that house that I always wanted, or that be able to take trips around the world and not worry about a job when I got back and the workload piled up, or being able to be the guy, the dad in the carpool line. I mean, that is so powerful to me, to be that dad that's on the field trips, that gets to take my kids to school and pick them up. And as I shared that story with people, that got people to move off center of, oh, it's a network. Oh, nobody makes any money at that. Oh, nobody wants to do that. To get them to start thinking, and gave them an actual dream. As I was telling my dream, I could start watching them start to dream. Just like I can see in your eyes right now, you're thinking of the things that you want. And a smile, usually, when you talk about a dream, a smile comes on people's face. And it defuses that, oh, it's network marketing. And it's exactly what Dallin did to me. It's how I came back and started sharing with my buddies. You know, I had friends that were doing very well and owning their own companies and business. I also had friends that were, you know, barely scraping by. And I just asked them, hey, what's your dream? If you could have anything, what would it be? And it was funny to me how many people didn't even have a dream. Your 35 to 40-year-old friends of mine that didn't even have a dream anymore. And so as you're talking to people, ask them what their dreams are. You know, what is it? What is it that makes you tick? What if you could have anything? You know, some of my friends says, man, what if you could bring your wife home? How cool would that be? You know, you'd be the knight in shining armor. You bring your wife home, man. She doesn't want to work. She wants to raise those babies. How cool would that be? You know, those are the things that got my friends excited and got them to make an educated no or an educated yes. The problem is there's uneducated no's, and those are the ones that you don't present it in a way that makes sense to them, and they just immediately put up the barriers. No, it's network marketing. No way am I going to do this over my dead body. But when you get an educated understanding of the industry, your barriers come down and you start visualizing yourself in that dream. So that's why I encourage. That's the reason I love that it was called the Dream Conference. Is, man, let's dream. Let's because we got a company that has positioned us to win. Positioned us to win. Now we just got to go share it with as many people. Baby steps. Have the big dream, but also have dreams along the way, and watch what happens to your business.
Absolutely. This has allowed me to dream again and dream big. I mean, again, as I've said, I've had a successful career. I've had successful careers in multiple industries and pharmaceutical sales, software sales, but this is something that was, you know, as Rick likes to say, a complete disruption in my life, but one that I'm embracing openly and more excited than I've ever been about anything. And you know, one thing that I like about this industry is the fact that, you know, like you said, you can run with it. You know, just, you can pick and choose when you want to work this business. And what I like is that for people that say that they're too busy, I know you said something once that really hit home with me, is that you like people that say I'm too busy, because successful people, this is what you said, successful people find time. And yeah. I want you to share how when you were working 70 hours a week, no, really, I mean, it's fascinating to me how somebody who has 3 small children, you know, his wife was working the business, that you were so driven and you saw the vision that you're working 70, 80 hours a week in your corporate job, or 60, 70 hours. And then you said this, and I'm like, and it really moved me. I'm like, every waking moment that I wasn't working, you know, my corporate job or wasn't with my children, I was working this business in the morning, breakfast, lunch, you know, dinners. I was having home meetings every night. And people need to understand this is not a get rich quick scheme. But if you're willing to put in the hours and put in the time, you can make as much as you want in this industry. So can you elaborate on that, since that really moved me when you spoke about that?
Well, what I learned is time leverage. And in my job that I had at corporate America, there's only so many hours in the day and so many hours in a week that I could work. I was coming home in the evenings and I was on the phone and doing business in Asia. And I'd be on the phone sometimes for 2-3 hours in the middle of the night with Asia, but still have to wake up the next morning and go to work. And I was, like I said, I was spent. And so when this was presented to me, how in the world can I find time to do this? And what was interesting to me was, it's not how much time can I put in it, it's how much consistent time can I put in it, but how many people can I leverage to get them to put their time into it. And this was mind-blowing to me. If I could put 5 hours a week into this consistently, income producing wise, meaning meeting with people, sharing the plans, sharing the products, getting people dreaming. If I can do that 5 hours a week, which I don't care what you do in life, if you have a big enough dream, you can devote 5 hours to something, 10 hours to something. Sometimes I did. I do 10 hours sometimes. But I would then go find 2 of my buddies, and if I could get them to do 5 hours a week, my 5 hours of productivity just turned to 15 hours of productivity. And I started thinking, wow, that's pretty cool. Now, what if those 2 all go find 2 people? Now I have 30 hours of productivity. What if those 2 go get 60 hours, 120 hours? And that's what I watched happen in our business. 5 hours a week from me turned into hundreds of hours of productivity in the business as people started leveraging other people's time. Now, people dropped off. That naturally happens. But in a perfect time leverage world, you can have thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of hours of productivity, and you're still just putting in those 5 hours. Now, what happens is you start having success and people start joining you and your friends start doing this. Your 5 hours becomes 10 hours and becomes 15 hours. And all of a sudden you're making, our goal is before anyone goes and quits their job, you're making 2 to 3 times the amount annually in your part-time job as your full-time job. And then let's have a discussion about your quitting. And that's where I was. Holly and I were annualizing over $1.5 million. It was nuts for me to continue to work there. My boss was cutting commissions, cutting territories away from me, wanting me to be on the road more. And I got the privilege of walking in there and telling him I quit. And I remember he said to me, what are you going to go do? He thought he had those golden handcuffs on me. I said, I'm going to go pour juice with my wife. He's like, what? She's a stay-at-home mom. I said, no. Let me share with you. Tried to sign him up. He said I was crazy and it'd never work. And well, here now 12 years later, he's still at the grind, 70-year-old guy working at the grind. And I get to do what I want, when I want, where I want, and with whom I want, because we put in the time. And so time leverage is so important. It's look for people that are looking. Here's another thing. Look for people that have successful networks. What I found is look for the person in the carpool line. Holly learned this one and shared it with me. If you're in a carpool line at your kid's school, who's the car that all the moms are hanging out with and talking while they're waiting for the kids to come out? You sign that person up, you just tapped a huge network. Who's the house that all the parties are at? Who's the one at the football practices, the dad that all the dads go hang out with? Go sign him up. Who's the most successful person in town that you know? Go sit down with them, and if they say no, they're not interested, just say, hey, can you help me out? I want to be successful in life. Do you think you could speak kindly of what I'm doing and maybe give me some referrals? It's so simple to tap people's networks, and that's what I love about network marketing. Find people that have large networks. If you do not have a large network, if you only know 2 or 3 people, which one of those 3 people have the biggest network? Go sign them up and watch your business explode.
I love that. And I love the fact that you're explaining the time leverage, because people don't understand. The first thing they say to me is, I don't have time. That's a very common, objection that I'm getting. And I understand it. And I like the way that you explain it so that it breaks it down for people. One of the things, another thing I want to kind of shift focus on here is, we're talking a lot about, a lot of times people talk about, the money and the financial freedom that you get with this type of industry. But what I think is really powerful, and what I learned when I was watching everybody, literally everybody on stage at this company, including you, you guys are the master brand partners, you and Holly, is that what was more important to you, what is the most important driving factor, is the fact that you are financially free, not just financially free, but you have the freedom to work from wherever you want. You pick and choose who you work with, when you want to work. And so you have that freedom to control your life, to completely control your life, because of what you have set up, of the system and the system that you have working for you. And I just love that. I love how you are, sharing that with people, because to me, that's more powerful, is that, I want to be the one picking up my kids from school every single day. And I do. I've had a flexible job, but I know a lot of the people in my network, a lot of my friends don't have that. They don't have that luxury of being the ones to be at every single game, at every single, dropping their kids off, picking them up, traveling when they want to travel all over the world. They don't have that luxury. And I think that it's something that we don't need to dream about it. We can work for it. And there's a system here that I'm sharing with my friends to show them how they can achieve that. So, so can you just share again about how this is a duplicatable system? You shared a little bit, but can you just kind of go into it a little bit more for me, if you don't mind?
Well, yeah, a system duplicates. People do not. If you're a personality-driven business, you're only going to be able to go so far, and you're basically back into like my corporate America job. It was up to me to do everything. But a system will duplicate. You know, why is McDonald's, when you walk into a McDonald's, the French fry is always on the left and the ice cream machine's always on your right? It's because it's a system. They know it works. It duplicates. It's one of the worst hamburgers in the world, but guess what? No matter where you are in the world, you can go eat at McDonald's and you know what you're getting. It's a system. It's a franchise. It's a system. Well, that's what we have put together here. The people that put together the VAT book, the VASAYO action plan, Holly and I were part of it. A number of other people that have 30 years experience in the industry were a part of it. We poured into it and we put everything into it we know works, because what we want to do is take the trial and error out of it. One of the knocks on network marketing is nobody makes any money. Well, nobody makes any money because they don't know what they're doing. They're not following a system. So what we put together is a system called the VAT book, and it shows you everything that you need to be doing on a daily, consistent basis. And if you do those things in time, you will start to have some success. It doesn't mean you're going to immediately have success, but what we're doing is teaching you skills and showing you skills, you know, like contacting, inviting. You don't know how to do that at first. My friend Daniel got 40, 50 no's before he started getting his yeses, but it took time. He tweaked his presentation. He followed the system. He continued to talk to 2 to 3 people every day. He continued to show the plan as many times in a week as he could. He continued to have his home meetings. He followed the basic system and eventually started having success. We did an open meeting last night in Tulsa. He had like 15 guests there. He just messaged me 5 minutes before we got on. 9 of those guests have all gotten in the business because he taught his team to contact and invite, to share the meetings, show up at the meetings. If there's a meeting in your area, to show up. Just the simple system. The system works. The system works. You cannot deny that. People don't work. You know, if you're, you know, Rick Gutman and I have talked a number of times. He is one of the most inspiring, motivating, fired up guys. But why does he teach the system? Because he knows he cannot duplicate himself, but the system does. I mean, Rick Gutman could go black diamond all by himself without doing anything. But if he wants to duplicate, he's got to teach a system, and that's what he does. That's the reason why he and I are coming to Texas next week. We're going to teach people the system, because the more franchises you have doing the exact same thing, the better success you're going to have.
Absolutely. And that's, again, speaking of franchise, that's how I feel is, you know, this company has been, you know, it's unheard of to have $80 million in sales in any industry, in any company. And we have over $80 million in sales in the first year. We're going to hit 100 million, you know, in the next couple of months. I mean, it's staggering. We've broken every single network marketing record in the industry. And it's because of our products. So if I could shift focus really quickly, if we could just do kind of quick summary of our amazing products. We got to see the new ones. I was able to see and try the new ones, and I'm excited. I'm waiting for my shipment because I packed too many clothes. I'm sure you'll probably understand this, but you know, as a lot of women, we packed too many clothes on our trip, so I wasn't able to bring my samples.
Well, you're going to have to learn part of the system, so always bring an extra suitcase.
I know, for the product. So anyway, I'm waiting for my V Slim and my V3 Energy, but you know, I've been on Core and Renew. I don't need the sleep. I'm not one of those, you know, billion people in the country that need help with sleep. But can you share a little bit and talk about why are our products truly so groundbreaking? I mean, these are disruptive products, and each one of the categories of these products is a billion-dollar industry. So can you share a little bit about the
Well, you know, that's a whole nother conversation that could go on for on and on and on and on. You know, we've gone a long time, and I want your people to be able to rewatch this. If we continue to go too much longer, they're not going to. But the products are phenomenal. The liposomes, all I can tell you on liposomes, it's almost 100% absorbent. So the products we're taking that are liposome technology, they're absorbing directly into your body. People are seeing results. The stories are through the roof. The new products are enzyme delivery. The multivitamin will be $1 million or a million customer product line. So you want to go get as many people to upgrade their vitamins. It's the most complete multivitamin on the planet. And then we have the, you know, the omegas that are in there. We also have the energy and the V3, the Slim. Oh my gosh, people's weights are melting off. What I love about that product is you don't have to change anything. We're not saying a shake in the morning, a shake at noon, eat every 3 hours, protein, fat, carb, just confusing people like crazy. We're just saying, hey, shake and share. Take this, put it in, drink it. It's going to curb your appetite. It's going to burn fat, and it's going to regulate your insulin. It's perfect. And then guess what happens is people start losing the weight. They say, let's make healthy choices. Maybe it's time to join a gym. And then we're going to cause the country to lose 1 billion pounds, and we're all going to make some crazy money on top of that. So that's really the products. The sleep product to me is the game changer for me personally. It's been awesome. Love it, love, 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 love it. The brain product, can't speak enough about it. We've got the best products in the world for the world.
Well, thank you
So,
so much, Corbin, for your time. I really appreciate it. I mean, you hit all the important points that I think my family, my network is interested in hearing and learning about. And you sharing your personal story is truly powerful to me, because I know that's one of the reasons why I joined, is I watched you
awesome.
and I watched your video
Thank
way
you.
before I joined. Absolutely. And so I want to remind everybody, you guys, Corbin Roush is going to be at my home in San Antonio on January 17th. Wednesday the 17th next week. So please message me. If I haven't reached out to you in person, I apologize. My phone has been blowing up. It's just been a really exciting time for me. But Corbin Roush and Rick Gutman will be at my house in San Antonio. They're doing a Texas tour. If you know people in Dallas, they're going to be there the 18th. If you know people in Houston, they're going to be there the 16th, the night before. But I'm just honored and blessed to have you as one of my teammates. That's how I feel.
Well,
Family.
that's how I feel. You know, we're attracting great people. You and I and Holly are going to get to know each other real well. We're going to be traveling the world together. So dream big, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
See you later.
so much. Bye, Corbin.